My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Friends, let's get this thing started, huh? It's been about time. I'm only a couple weeks late. Oh, man, it's great to be back in the seat. It's, like I said, a couple weeks late, but you know what? We're here and we're making it. We're a little bit stuffy. We're a little bit sick, but you know what? We popped some Dayquil, dude. Your boy's jonesing. We're feeling good. I got a little bit of a tattoo flu. Some of you guys might know what that is. Some of you might not. I had some work done this week. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, but it's okay. I'm getting better. I should be 100 by tomorrow. So yeah, we're vibing, man. I'm really sorry that this video is coming so late. I really thought, precious me. I think I want to do it release these every Friday. That I could do this every Friday. Couldn't. I'm barely even able to do it every other Friday. But I think that maybe that's the goal, is every other Friday, or honestly maybe just when I have something worth saying, which to my chagrin is actually not as often as I'd hoped. But that's okay, dude. We're flowing. There's been a lot that's happened these last couple weeks. I have quite the extensive list to get through. There is, so many things. I'm just going to start hitting them. In the last 2 weeks, what are some of the fun things I got going on? Homeboy Parker came through. Some of you guys might know Parker is an artist I worked with, doing some music stuff, some creative stuff. We did a music video. Anyway, he came through. We played some basketball together, just talked about life, and just spent the day kind of in community, encouraging one another, talking about what's going on, praying for each other. And that was a really, really good day. Some time well spent. He's in the process of trying to become a firefighter, and he had all morning was waiting for an email to come through to see if he got hired on in the Gilbert Fire Department. And I was like, dude, we got to get your mind off this email. Let's go shoot some hoops. So we balled it up, dude. It was a good time. 2-year wedding anniversary just happened. So 2 Mondays ago was officially 2 years that I've been married to my wife, and it was such a good hang, man. We did not do anything extraordinary out of the ordinary, but we went to our favorite pho spot, got some pho. We went shopping, bought some shoes, just spent the day together. It was a really, really, really good time. We were supposed to go to this nice fancy seafood restaurant, but you know what, dude? Sometimes you got to call audibles. You got to call some audibles. My mom doesn't know this. She still thinks that we went somewhere fancy. So, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. We were supposed to go somewhere fancy. But then at the end of the day, dude, we were just chilling. We were just tired. So we got takeout. Got some Thai takeout. Came back, sat on the couch, and watched Minecraft YouTube videos. And it was amazing, man. It was amazing. Happy 2-year anniversary. I love my wife. So that was crazy. We had some friends that took us out a couple nights before our anniversary, 2 days before, and I had one of the best culinary experiences I've ever had. And I just want to preface this fully by saying that this is a very unique situation, and I don't normally spend money like this, of this caliber. So this is not, I'm not trying to flex this, I'm not trying to paint some picture of some life I don't have. But we went to this Brazilian steakhouse, and I got to have an A5 Wagyu ribeye. And that was the 4th time I've had Wagyu in my life, but that was definitely the highest quality cut I've ever had. And holy cannoli, dude. That was an experience. That was a culinary experience I will never forget. They served it with a little chimichurri on the side and some fresh sea salt. And, oh, man, that was a vibe. Huge, huge vibe. That was such a wonderful night, and I'm thankful for our friends for taking us out. That will be a dinner I will never forget. Man, right after that, literally Easter, just thing after thing after thing. Easter, played at CCV this year. Thursday rehearsal, Friday Good Friday service, 2 services on Saturday with the rehearsal afterward. Then, boom, sunrise service. surprise, then 3 services after that. It's just, dude, one thing after another. It was an intense weekend. I slept 2 nights in a row. I only slept for 3.5 hours, which is just brute ski. But you know what? We pushed through. Yeah. And then the day after that, my birthday. Here's what I don't think you should do. Ready for what I don't think you should do? I don't think you should go 2 nights back to back with 3 hours of sleep. And then on the day after that, get a tattoo. Don't do that. Because your body's going to be like, hey, yo, bruh. And then you're going to get tattoo flu like I have. Yeah, I just did not sleep for like 2 days, and then I got a tattoo, and then I didn't sleep again. And then I woke up the next day feeling like ass. So here we are, dude. We're a little stuffy. Tattoo flu. It's cool. But I got a dope piece, man. Shout out my boy Sad. Hold on. Oh. One of these right there. Shout out my boy Sad Tad. I'll link his profile or whatever the YouTubers do these days. Yeah, he's amazing. Like 90% of all tattoos I have on my body, he has done. He is a legend and such a good person to hang around. Always makes me feel super comfortable. And he's the kind of guy, dude, if you ever get a tattoo and the tattoo artist is giving you grief about moving the stencil, leave. Just leave. If some tattoo artist is giving you huffs and puffs about, can you make it a little smaller? Can you move it a little over? Dude, screw those guys, okay? Because they don't have to wear this tattoo for the rest of their life, and they want to act like they got something better to do, somewhere better to be. No, bro. If you're a tattoo artist, you better be gracious with your clients, man. And this is the kind of guy who's super gracious with clients, man. He's like, dude, I want you to absolutely love it. I want it to be in the perfect spot. I'll reapply the stencil 10 times if I gotta. And that's the kind of artist that I want to work with. And he's that kind of guy. So, Sam, I love you, dude. I appreciate you a ton. Man, yeah, birthday. Went and got the tattoo. Went to Saks, dude. Whew, shout out Saks. Love that place, man. Those are my people. They had a sandwich named after me for a while. Huge honor. Yeah, dude, get the Remington. It's fantastic. After Saks, tattoo. After tattoo, magic store. Got some sweet magic cards. Then, dude, Fatan again. No surprises there. Went back for the pho, dude. Gotta. On the birthday pho. Came home and made my wife play Destiny with me. I say make. It wasn't much convincing. Me, her, and my dad did a Grandmaster together, and that was a hell of a time. Oh, guys, it happened again. Dune 2. Yeah, happened again, dude. I went and saw it again in the cinema. Oh, unreal. Oh, I even got a thing in the mail. Dude, Instagram ads are the best, bro. They target me so good. They are Instagram ads. Whoever my FBI agent is, dude, you're goated, brother. You and me should get a beer sometime. I got this Instagram ad for this homemade, fake Shai Hulud Pokemon card. Dude, look at this thing. So sick, right? Yeah, dude, I'm full steam on Dune. It's unavoidable, bro. It's my whole life. I'm reading the book. I got the art book. Paige got me the photography book for my birthday. I got my sister on Dune. She came over the other day to bring me a birthday cake that she made from scratch. Shout out Selena. So fire. Dude, she made me this birthday cake and we're sitting around talking about God even knows what. Start getting on to Dune, naturally. And she's like, oh, I think I'm kind of interested in checking out that movie. She's like, maybe I'll watch it tonight. And I was like, dude, if you're going to watch it, let me give you a little 10-minute crash course. Because there's some things that you should know that make the movie better. You don't have to know, but it just enhances the world. And the first film can be a little confusing because there's names and the Atreides and the Harkonnens and Lisan al-Gaib, Kwisatz Haderach, all these things. It's whoa, dude, am I taking a Latin class? No, I'm just trying to watch a film. So I gave her a little rundown, the whole spiel. She went back to her house, texted me the whole time. She absolutely loved it. All these questions. Oh, so the doctor is the bad guy? Is he a traitor? And all these things. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's way deeper than you could ever imagine. Long story short, we're going to go see the second one together in the cinema. That'll be my 3rd time. So, very excited for that. And, yeah, other than that, I've just been playing lots of Destiny. There's a bunch of content that came out recently and more content that's coming out. So your boy's deep in the game right now, playing a lot of Destiny. Taking some time. It's been fantastic. So, yeah, man, that's kind of what I had going on these last 2 weeks. Jam-packed. I'm wiped, bro. I so badly did not want to record this episode today, but I gotta. If I keep putting it off, dude, I'm going to have a 3-hour episode about everything I've done the last 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to kind of buckle up and get it done. So here I am, buckling. But it is good. I'm glad I did it. I was like dreading doing this because I was like, oh, I feel so low energy. I don't have the zhuzh for it. But now here I am. I'm buzzing on the Dayquil, so we're chilling. But here's TGKs. I'll talk about some stuff I've been thankful for, grateful for, in ways that I was kind these last couple weeks. First of all, thankful for my wife. I know that's like a low ball, low hanging fruit, and everyone's kind of disappointed that I went there. But you know what? Let me explain. These last couple weeks, between our 2-year wedding anniversary, between my birthday, between my crazy schedule with Easter, she's had so much going on. And right now, she's absolutely crushing it in the tattoo space. And I'm really proud of her, and she's so encouraged. But even in the midst of all the fun things she has going on, she's been like consistently there supporting me with all the things I have going on without even a blink. No hesitation, dude. She's just all in. Got me all these fun little surprises for my birthday. We spent all this amazing quality time together for our anniversary. And I think in these last 2 weeks, I've just become like abundantly aware of just how thankful I am for her. She's an amazing person. And I for sure married up, like big time. She's a hottie, and inside and out. And so I genuinely would never want to spend my life with anyone else. If she died, I'd just kill myself. I'd just move on, be with Jesus. I had a good shot, because any day spent not with her is just a bad day. So yeah, thankful for my wife. Ways that I was generous these last couple weeks. Speaking of my wife, she and her boss from the tattoo shop that she's at got invited to a corporate event at this like women's like pin-up hair salon. Like it's called Pin-Up Curls. Little pun there. Love me a good pun. Yeah, and they just like went and they did tattoos for like, I don't know, there was like 300 women there or something. But it was free for the women, and then there was like, just give tips to the artists type of thing. So her and her boss were there just going hard for hours. I think they were there for like 5 hours just nonstop tattooing people. It was on a Saturday, so I got done at church, and I was like, you know what? I know they're hungry. So I went out and I got Chick-fil-A for them. Brought it back, surprised them. They were so excited. And yeah, just the little things. Just thinking about your fellow man, that's all you got to do. Yeah, and she made hella money that night. So what's a little Chick-fil-A? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, dude. It was great. And then the kindnesses that I had. I spent a lot of time eating out this week just because with our crazy schedule, they just can't catch your boy cooking right now, dude. Can't do it. I'm hungry and I'm tired. That means we're taking out. So I really tried to be extra mindful this week of like every person that I kind of like came into contact with, whether it be through the drive-thru or like a server at a restaurant, to like just take a couple extra minutes and engage with them first as a person before a worker. They're a person before they're a worker is what I'm trying to say. And take 30 extra seconds. Hey man, how are you doing? How's your day going? Sometimes I even ask them if I could tell I wasn't holding them up. I'd just be like, hey man, what are you thankful for today? And just try to like have a real human conversation, like zoom out, like, hey man, I'm not a patron and you're not a worker. We're just two people on the same team floating on a rock in outer space. Let's just have a human connection for a second. Like let's shut all this other stuff down and just engage with each other just for a brief moment. And I think like when you kind of come at someone who's like in the minutia of it all, and you kind of hit them with that sort of energy, it sticks out to them. So many people are just rude to workers, and they just kind of like, give me this, 2 cheeseburgers, extra fries, 50 burgers, that whole thing. And then the transaction's over, and a machine could have done that. But when you treat people with love and respect and kind of go out of your way and you pull them out of that moment for a second, I think people really appreciate it. Obviously, don't hold up the line with a 20-minute convo, but, little things here and there spice up people's life. But, yeah, those were my TGKs. Here's what else I've been doing this week, and this is kind of my secondary topic for the week. Dude, I rewatched all of Avatar. The Last Airbender. The animated show, not that live action trash, the real Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I've been trying so hard to like come up with like, I was even going to write like an outline for this episode because like all these parallels and and Zuko used earthbending stance when he fought Azula at the end of the show, blah, blah, blah. That's just too much. That's way too much. I'm trying to keep this like general surface level knowledge. And since Avatar: The Last Airbender is kind of like a circulating topic in the zeitgeist right now, I figured it'd be good to maybe shout it out a little bit. That show is a masterpiece. Genuine, absolute, undeniable masterpiece of animation. It is so good. Sure, you want to give the first 15 episodes are like super kiddie and childish, absolutely. But that show is not made for children. That show is made for everybody, genuinely. And if you've not watched it, it's unavoidable. I'm going to have some spoilers in this because the real meat and guts of the show comes from some of the spoilers. And Prince Zuko is one of the greatest characters ever written, genuinely. The story of Zuko is the story of the Avatar, like that show. Aang is just like your typical Western protagonist, right? Is a weak young boy. He goes through hardships, becomes a strong boy. He wins in the end. Blah, 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 blah. Woohoo, pat on your back. Participation trophy. Zuko, on the other hand, is like classic Eastern protagonist, like antagonist turned anti-hero turned protagonist. Dude, unbelievable story. And I think what's so cool about it is I love stories of redemption. I'm a big yin-yang person. I want both sides. I don't want just the light. I don't want to be just the dark. I got to have both, dude. I got to be the line in between the two shades, like you're living in that liminal space. That's like where the real experience of life is. And so I love people who kind of like teeter-totter back and forth between that. That's why I love Anakin so much. Like Anakin speaks to me on such a profound level because he was both. He was both fully Jedi and then fully Sith. And he lived the entirety of that symbol. And that's Zuko, man. He's this kid who, brief background on him, is the Prince of the Fire Nation. His lord is the Fire Lord of the nation. And in an act of like trying to, toxically masculinity discipline his son, challenges him to this thing called an Agni Kai, which is basically firebender versus firebender, fight to the death type thing, and whoever wins was right in the argument or whatever. Like, it's just so macho and unnecessary. And so he challenges this like 13-year-old boy to an Agni Kai, and he's the literal Fire Lord. Again, it was just all just like an act of humiliation, just to shame his son, which is so toxic. And in the process of that, he leaves him with this scar on his face that he'll have forever. And it's not a little one. It's not like a little pretty boy Charlie Puth scar on the eyebrow. Like, this dude's literal whole left half of his face is just rubber. Anyway, the whole thing is he's now exiled from the Fire Nation. The prince, the heir to the throne, has been exiled from the Fire Nation for speaking out in a brief moment. With this newfound scar. And the only way he can reclaim his honor is by finding the Avatar. And so he's on this journey for 3 years. He's hunting down the Avatar in an attempt to reclaim his honor because he thought that's what he needed to be accepted by his father. And that once he found the Avatar and reclaimed his honor, he'd be happy and he'd be whole and he would be, the love of the nation again, the pride of his father, the son his father always wanted. He said that all the time. And what's so beautiful is that along this journey, he has his Uncle Iroh. And his Uncle Iroh was like the crown jewel of the Fire Nation army. This dude who was so strong and so powerful, so successful. And then his son died in the war. And he gave it all away. He gave it all up. And he becomes a different man. And he's trying to lead Zuko down this path of not just like capturing the Avatar and reclaiming his honor, but actually like teaching him like to choose his own destiny. And that's really beautiful. I could talk about that relationship for literally forever, so I'm going to try not to. What's cool is that you see Zuko's journey go from point here to point here, and he ends up getting his honor back, so to speak. He ends up fulfilling his father's wishes in a way that I don't want to exactly spoil, but he ends up getting the honor of his father that he was chasing after. He got the glory of the Fire Nation back. He was welcomed back with open arms. He was in the War Council. He was in all the things. He had everything he ever wanted, but he hated it still. He was so unhappy, and he was so mad all the time. And he realized that even after getting everything that he thought he wanted, he didn't have anything he needed. And that was the start of the real journey for Zuko, is that he didn't have to go here to here, and then he realized, oh, this isn't what I wanted, so I'll go up here. What's cool is that his journey goes from here to here, and then he realizes that in order for him to actually get his honor back, he's got to go back to here. He's got to go back on the way he came and now humble himself before everyone he screwed over. And so not only does he stand up to his father and say, you know what, you're an awful person, and In my exile, you taught me so much, but not in the way that you wanted. You taught me and showed me how awful the Fire Nation is, how much everyone hates us, and how what we're doing is absolutely evil. And so he told off his dad, and he said not only all of that, but I'm actually going to go and I'm going to teach the Avatar how to firebend. I will be his firebending master, and he's going to come and whoop your ass. And I think that's even cooler. The fact that he didn't just go off on a separate story. He went back to the person that he's been wronging this whole time, this whole little group of people, like Team Avatar. He went back to them and he ate crap. He humbled himself. And not only that, he did it to his uncle, who he betrays later on, or earlier on in the story. He ended up betraying his uncle. He goes back, seeks forgiveness. Dude, what a story, man. Going back to the people that you screwed over, looking for forgiveness, not just moving on. Again, not here to something else. He went here, and back. That is so beautiful. And in the process of trying to make amends and make redemption for the wrong that he did, he actually found his honor. And he actually found his purpose in life. And obviously, by the end of the show, everything that happens. And it's so beautiful, man. It's so encouraging. And Iroh just constantly being there with, dude, he drops this line earlier in the show, and it's super foreshadowing. And he says, sometimes the best way to solve your own problems is to help somebody else. And what did Zuko do? He had all of his issues. He had all this rage and hatred and resentment towards his father and the Fire Nation built up inside of him. And the only way that he could deal with it is to go back and help the Avatar. Beautiful, dude. Absolutely beautiful. And when he goes back to finally face his uncle again, who he betrays, who's then locked in prison because Zuko betrayed him, he goes back and he visits him after all this time, and he's absolutely terrified that his uncle hates him, because time and time again, his uncle's been trying to lead him right. Because remember, his uncle lost his own son. That's Zuko's cousin. And ever since then, he always looked at Zuko as his son, and he was trying to raise him and train him in the ways that he could no longer do for his own son, which there's a whole episode dedicated to Iroh that is absolutely gut-wrenching. I've watched it 100 times, and I can never not cry when I watch it. It is awful. It is so hard to watch. No way that's made for kids. It's like you're watching this dude cry and weep and sing this song for his dead son, and I'm just supposed to go do my homework now? I'm supposed to go to science class? Yeah, right, dude. That's just not made for kids. That stuff is intense. So emotionally, verbose. It's heavy. And I'm just circling on two characters. Every character has some immense life lesson that they go through that is so profound. But anyway, Iroh ends up greeting him with so much love and mercy and forgiveness, just immediately. He said that his line was, "I was never mad at you. I was just sad because I thought you lost your way." Dude, I want to be that gracious. When someone screws me over and I'm locked in prison for a year because, they betrayed me, I hope that I have so much mercy and grace and forgiveness in my heart that that's how I could treat them in response. Because, dude, that's so beautiful. Anyway, there's a really happy ending at the end of that show. But the journey to get there, dude, is intense, man. The whole, the way that Zuko has to relearn firebending, because once he gives up all his hatred and anger, he doesn't know how to firebend anymore. Because all of his bending came from his hatred and his anger. And once he put that down and he forgave himself and he forgave everyone else, he literally didn't know how to firebend anymore. And he had to relearn the purest way of fire, because he only knew fire as destruction, but he had to relearn fire as life. Beautiful, dude. Oh, I'm about to start crying right now. Dude, you have to watch that show. It is so good, man. And I'm really trying to not go into mega detail, because I don't want to make this, a 5-hour episode. And I know most of you guys probably don't care. But yeah, I just had to talk a little bit about that. That's that relationship journey, especially Zuko and Iroh. I feel like there's so much to get from that. And yeah, I'm inspired by Iroh to be filled with such love and mercy. And I'm also inspired by Zuko to be as humble as I can and to go back and face the music when I have to and become a stronger man for it. I think that's such an amazing thing. But Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's only I think there's 56 episodes or something like that. It's not super long. They're all 20 minutes long. 3 books. Chapter 1 or book 1's called Water, and it's Aang, the last Airbender, the Avatar. He's trying to learn how to bend water. Then he's trying to learn in book 2 how to bend earth, and then the climax of it in book 3 is fire, and that's when Zuko teaches him how to be a master firebender, a master all 4 elements. and bring peace to the nation. But anyway, you should watch it, man. It is so good. Even with the little spoilers I gave, it's still 100% worth the watch. So yeah, that's mostly what I had going on. I forgot. There's a little Jordan Peterson quote that I thought was kind of a good little parallel for this Avatar thing. One of Jordan Peterson's rules for life from his book, 12 Rules for Life, is treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. And I think that's really cool. Like especially if we're trying to stay open-minded about helping other people, and like we're so quick to, give love and empathy and grace to others, we should also be doing that for ourselves. And I think you see a lot of that in Avatar, which is beautiful. So many beautiful life lessons in that show, man. It's heartwarming, it's heart-wrenching, it's the whole spectrum. So yeah, that's my episode. Catching up on the last 2 weeks, talked about the TGKs, gave a little shout out to the Avatar, dude. The GOAT. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying on it. I hope you guys are continuing to be, thankful, generous, and kind. Please, in the comment section, let me know ways that you were thankful, generous, and kind. I'd love to maybe even share some stories, whether it be anonymously or not. If you guys don't feel comfortable sharing your names, that's totally okay. But I think it'd be great for some other people to hear how other people are being, thankful, generous, and kind each week. And maybe we can keep that trend going, and we can encourage other people to do that in, other states and other countries. And next thing we know, all we need is just a little ripple effect, man. We just need more people being mindful of other people around them. We're all on the same team. Genuinely. I mean that. There's this story about this Russian cosmonaut. He's like one of the first dudes to ever go to outer space, not necessarily like on the moon, but just go out into orbit and see our pale blue dot from outer space. And he launches up. He's up there for however long, and then he ends up coming back down, and he lands in Asia. And upon arrival back, he defects from the Russian space program. He defects from Russia altogether. Years later, once he's finally safe again, because obviously that's like a huge offense in communist Russia, he was interviewed about like what happened up there that made him want to just defect immediately. And his response was really beautiful. And he said, when I was up there and I looked down on our Earth, I couldn't see any of the borders that we had all made. I couldn't see any of the walls and the dividers that separate us from each other. It just looked like one Earth, and it was all of us together. And then in that moment, he realized that like all this division is just going to kill us, and that all this division and these separations and these ley lines of our territory, your territory, it's all just fake, man. It's all made up, and that really moved him to the point of like leaving it all behind. And I think about that a lot. That's why I always say zoom out. If anyone ever hears me say zoom out, that's what I mean. Go into orbit for a second. Look at the Earth. Oh, dude, some dude cut you off in traffic. Bro, zoom out. We're literally flying through space on a rock, dude. And some guy cut you off in traffic. Who cares? Who cares? Zoom out, bro. That's what I always think. So hopefully zoom out can be your little meditation for the week. When something really bothers you, when something's getting in your head, dude, just zoom out for a second. Your spouse is getting on your nerves. Your boss is being a jerk. Whatever it is, just zoom out for a moment. And it brings you a lot of peace. Start to realize that some of these problems that we have aren't really that big when we zoom out. They're 5-foot problems. They're not 500-foot problems. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for watching again. I appreciate everyone's love and support. It's been awesome doing this, and I'm looking forward to doing many more episodes. So be present. Go out there. Same team on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.